Unsolved Mysteries, Part 2.
Part 2.
Part 2. Ready? Chug-a-lug. Let's go. Jello, I'm Ash.
And I'm Lynn.
This is Only If You Can Keep Up. Okay, so we're coming off a spooky season.
Yeah.
It's over. It was fun.
Back into our regular...
regular broadcasting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I tried to be
still
cool there.
a little weird and eerie because these unsolved mysteries are very...
interesting.
enthralling. Okay?
There you go.
Mind-blowing.
You don't have your Post-it with your...
I don't, but I have engraved them into my new vocabulary.
Did you just walk around and say these words over? I know you fucking did. You know you did.
I did not.
Okay, so you go first.
So mine is not really one... it's not a crime. It's not anything... But it is still...
But, an unsolved mystery is just something that's, fucking crazy that nobody can
it doesn't
explain.
have to be a true crime. It doesn't have to be, a murder or anything.
Yeah.
So this... people did die here, so it's kind of sad. But also kind of... I don't know how I feel about it. So this is... Whoa, I got really loud.
It's okay.
The dancing plague, okay? Also sometimes referred to as choreomania or dancing mania. This happened during medieval European times. So way back.
Always medieval times.
Way
medieval
back.
times was fucking popping off.
Right. They were literally popping. They were out there fucking shaking their thing.
Are they twerking and
Dude, they were dancing till they died. They were fucking dance till we're dead.
Listen, okay, I'm gonna throw in a fucking flashback. If you've ever watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, there's an episode where there's a ghost that is summoned by Dawn, the sister, because she wants joy in her life, and she summons this demon that creates everyone to literally dance to death.
That's kind of what this sounds like.
Oh my god. So... I really want to watch that episode now. Okay, I'm sorry, keep going.
That's so funny. That's kind of like what this is, or what it seems like anyway.
It's called Once More with Feeling. It's on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You should totally go watch it. Anyway.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
So this dancing plague, medieval European times. Okay, the first one they recorded was 1374, originated in Germany, kind of spread all along this river to Belgium, the Netherlands.
Good job.
Different parts of Europe. Okay, 1374 they started. People would just start fucking dancing in the streets. They would fill the streets dancing to music that no one else could hear.
Flash mob style?
Yeah, kind of. That's what I thought of. One starts and they all join in.
Right.
But it's they were just unable to control their bodies, almost in a trance. Just fucking dancing, dude. And they would not stop until they collapsed. Some would even cry and scream in pain. But they couldn't stop.
When you say collapse, you mean they died?
Some of them died.
Okay.
I'll get to that, but some of them literally danced themselves to death. So some of them would last for weeks, but they would begin and end suddenly. They'd stop just as quickly as they began. Still no idea how or why, but thousands of people were affected overall, thousands, because this went on for quite a while. So often different areas. So they would keep dancing. They wouldn't eat. They wouldn't sleep. Their feet would become bloody and blistered and bruised, and their bodies would just collapse from exhaustion.
I have so many fucking questions right now.
Right?
Why?
We don't know.
What? But is this actually recorded?
Yes,
how is it recorded? We wrote down in journals and stuff. You know what I mean?
So yeah, there were recordings by different doctors and different witnesses back then.
So
different...
legit.
Yeah, they had tried to doctors thought maybe that their blood had overheated somehow, a fever dance. A lot of people... So the biggest one in the summer of 1518, way back when, 1518, okay?
That was yesterday.
This was what would be modern-day France. It was the Holy Roman Empire. Another very large dancing plague took place. It began with one woman. I guess she had an argument with her husband. They said she started dancing in the streets. They think maybe to embarrass her husband or something, because back then was women with hysteria and so she's dancing, bloody and bruised, whatever. Well, she danced alone for nearly a week, but then people just started joining her by the dozens, and then they just couldn't control their urge. So all these people are just joining her. And
so I got this feeling.
Yeah, deep in my soul. That they would collapse. Some would have heart attacks, some would have strokes, some would just die of exhaustion. But I think they said over, I'd read several sources, they weren't exactly sure, but estimated around 400 people died.
Holy fuck.
Authorities would actually step in. They actually tried to play to it. they would set up a stage and they would bring in like professional dancers and bands to play music to like kind of set the like kind of control things and make it more of an upbeat, but it just went it just made it worse. Like more people would join, more people would start dancing, and they just couldn't stop. So the doctors would say, oh, it's like a fever type of thing, or it's boiling blood or hot, overheated blood or whatever. But a lot of people, because this was like the Holy Roman Empire, you've got your Catholic, your saints, things like that. So a lot of them were very religious and believed in curses and believed in being punished for their sins. I am really struggling to swallow today. So a lot of people back then thought that it was like a demonic possession, or that they were cursed for certain actions that these people had been like.
Of course, it's always demonic.
Yeah. So
I'm so fucking intrigued. Like I have so many questions. Okay.
And I honestly think it was just like some kind of mass hysteria, like a psychogenic, and a lot of people think it was like a psychosomatic, like mass hysteria. One person starts, the other, there's like an episode of House where that happens. They're like on a plane and one person starts getting sick and everyone else starts getting sick, and they realize it's like,
say one person dances and they all dance.
But it's like mass hysteria. Like their brains think, oh my gosh, I have to do what they're doing. But that happens usually after like extreme times of stress. And mind you, this is medieval times. This was after like famine, floods, illness, like plagues, actual.
Right.
So they were in times of extreme stress. So maybe their brains were just, maybe it was some kind of psychosomatic, like, we're all dancing, we can't stop. But there was this saint, Saint Vitus, a Catholic saint, who many Europeans believed would curse them. And that so they think that he cursed them to dance and dance and dance to their death. But they did eventually get that one to stop. So the authorities would, when they tried to set up stage and, make it better, and it got worse, they started dragging them. They would tie the people to wagons, and they eventually took them to this big, like, shrine up on a hill, and they just kind of prayed, and they eventually stopped. So it makes you wonder if there was something spiritual with it. Maybe they were spiritually just, like, maybe a mix of, like, what they believed.
Okay.
And mass hysteria. So, not really sure, but the victims believed they'd been cursed. Almost all the victims that survived believed they'd been cursed, either by the devil or by this saint, and they'd pray for divine intervention. Some people now think that maybe they were poisoned by, there's this fungus called, I think it's ergot, it's ERGOT, and it's like, it grows on like rye and other grains, and it's actually like the main component of LSD. It's the LS in LSD.
I was gonna ask once you were done talking, I try not to interrupt you, if drugs were involved in any way. Like obviously not like drugs today, but like some natural herb got mixed.
If they were, many reasons that doesn't make sense to me. Okay, yes, I think it's lysergic acid is the LD in LSD. So it could cause hallucinations, could cause delusions. Ergo poisoning or ergotism, whatever. They call it, like, quote, St. Anthony's fire. It can cause convulsions, hallucinations, muscle spasms. But it also causes, like, extreme illness, violent, like, stomach pains and vomiting and things like that. So they didn't seem sick other than mentally. And this was happening all over. It was in different areas with different climates and different crops. And not everyone eating those things were getting sick. So I don't think it was the crops. I don't know. But by the mid-17th century, this had completely stopped. It just stopped. But also, that era of, like, the Holy Roman Empire, all that kind of stuff, also was kind of dying. So it's like, there has to be some kind of religious component to it. Like, I don't know.
I'm sorry. Like, I know there's, like, belladonna and stuff like that, like, if you consume it.
Right.
So, like, or even, like, I know white oleander is, like, a killing one. But, like, belladonna, you hallucinate. You essentially go crazy. Why couldn't there be something else that's like that?
There totally could. My theory is, okay, definitely could have been something in their food or something that they ingested. But when they started praying, it stopped, it sounds like. So now this is just...
But you're essentially controlling your own hallucination. She's dancing, I'm dancing. He stopped, I'm stopped.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then was it everybody?
Not everyone.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or was like Bill and Chuck left out?
Right, just random people.
It was random.
Because I had read that there were beggars and there were nuns and there were like there were all different types of people.
I have never heard of this. This is fucking insane.
This was one I'd not heard of either.
Right.
I don't know. But there were different forms of this and some where they would act like animals.
So it wasn't just in one specific town.
Right.
It was like everywhere.
Yeah. Like different parts. Like the one was up near, like I said, the Netherlands and Germany. This was more like what would be considered France now. But it was all mostly European countries.
I would like to go and do research on like the soils and what grew in these different areas. Maybe that same flower grew in 4 places.
It could be.
Maybe somebody, because this is that time, maybe there was a witch, right? Bunny ears, but somebody who
giving them certain herbs or
wanted to pollute the town.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they could crush some shit up and go in the air, and whoever was outside.
Very well could be.
I don't know. This is fucking nuts.
Yeah. I mean, that's about all I got on it. But
they would die.
Yeah.
Because they didn't stop.
Not die from illness, whereas like that poisoning, that fungus would make you sick.
That specific one. I'm saying if there's something else. It could have been something else.
Yeah, it could have been something like that. But they would die just from like heat exhaustion, strokes, heart attacks. Right. Just pure exhaustion.
But like think about it. If there was a certain flower or herb that grew back then, maybe it just kind of
phased out.
And like they walked through it, or Mary had a garden and it was in her garden and she didn't know.
Mary had a little lamb and the little lamb was poisoned. Who knows? But I think it's
a
mixture.
That was perfect.
I think it's a mixture of things. I think mass hysteria for sure.
Right.
Like a psychosomatic, like, oh, they're dancing, I have to dance. I've been cursed because they all thought they'd been cursed. But also there could have been some physical issue too, something they ingested, and maybe a mix, because it wasn't everyone. It wasn't everyone, but it was in many areas. Sorry. So I don't know. But by 17th century, this had completely stopped. This is not known to happen other than like flash mobs and stuff now. So, those are by choice.
Could you just seriously fucking imagine if we just strolled into town right now? Because we're at my house in the middle of fucking nowhere. Just strolled into town. Like, let's go to town and get a little burger. And everyone's fucking dancing in the streets, bro. Right? I would turn the fuck around and never go back.
Like, no, thank you.
Seriously, what the hell?
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe demonic possession, maybe poisoning. I don't know.
Listen, there's a movie. There's a movie. I don't remember the fucking movie, but there's a movie. And it's kind of like a thriller type crazy one. And if you breathe the air, you kill yourself.
Yeah. I've seen that.
What the fuck is it? We're never going to figure that out. That's fine. What if it's something like that? Something
but then
is
you would
in
think
the
it
air.
would affect everyone. You would think it would affect.
Well, maybe the people that they didn't infect had something as to why it didn't affect them.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe they had a certain gene, or you know what I mean, that like didn't allow them to be affected.
It's just crazy. After all these hundreds of years, nobody knows anymore.
And then you got to think, some of these people probably were like, well, if I don't dance, then I'm not okay.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Maybe they're dancing to appease, or maybe they're dancing to heal themselves. We better join in, and then they just can't stop, like the Miley Cyrus song. Okay.
Pretty sure Miley wasn't there, right? Okay, so oh my god, I still have so many questions.
I know, me too. I couldn't find much more on it.
With our history, dude.
These are the kind of unsolved mysteries that I love. That I'm just like, what the fuck?
Do you believe it actually happened though?
Oh yeah,
because things can get like misconstrued.
Yeah,
like,
but it was more than one area, and so many times throughout those few hundred years. Yeah. And there was so many written history of it.
Like, you said doctors, so they had to document and stuff and all of that. It's fucking crazy. Okay, I'm nothing fun and fancy like yours. Like seriously, mine's about a ghost ship.
Mary Celeste.
Mary Celeste, yes. Yeah. Okay, if you don't know, Mary Celeste is a ship that was and then wasn't. Like
it just wasn't.
Well, I mean, the ship itself was. Pause for effect.
Dramatic
anyway,
pause.
The ship was built in 1861 at Spencer's Island in Nova Scotia, Canada. Canada.
Yeah.
Its original name was Amazon. So where you got your packages from?
Yeah.
I'm totally fucking joking.
Where Wonder Woman's from. Not the Amazon. She wasn't Amazon. Never mind. I bring up Wonder Woman.
Do you have like a crush on Wonder Woman?
Gal Gadot? Fuck yes.
Okay.
Oh my
I don't
god.
even know who that is.
She's so fucking hot. Okay. Go ahead.
It was originally named the Amazon. Or no, I'm sorry. Amazon. No, the. Got it? Okay.
Her first. What a fun word. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to say it all day now. Her first launch was May 18th, 1861.
It's just a little while ago.
Just like last week. The captain, on the very first journey it ever took, got pneumonia and died. A lot of weird things happened with this ship before the weirdest thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a lot of weird things happen. The ship would just go off track for no reason. Like, back then ships
Not
had,
because their captain was dying?
No, a different voyage.
Okay,
like, the first voyage, the captain died on the ship.
So, like, this ship was probably cursed.
Right. The next voyage, or 10 later, it doesn't matter. It wasn't every voyage there was something, obviously. It was just another thing recorded was it would just go off track. Like, it would be going to Rome, and it would end up in fucking Mexico. You know what I mean? Like, it was just for no rhyme or reason.
A mind of its own.
And it's like, the crew's like, we try. You know what I mean?
The very first smart ship.
In 1861. The ship actually hit another ship. Like, you gotta think of all the hundreds of ships out there. Unless two ships are, like, dueling, like, pirate style, they're
can
not
avoid
close.
each other pretty well.
Have you seen the ocean? It's fucking huge. You know what I mean?
Unless there's, like, some kind of big magnet inside? I don't...
Mid-fucking water into another ship.
Boom.
Like, that's unheard of for this kind of shit. The shit ship. In October of 1867, the ship actually just went up on land. And if you know, ships don't go on land. They go into docks and piers. And they're, like, set there, and that's where they are. And you walk down a dock, like a wooden dock, to get on and off the ship. This one just went up on the fucking land.
Oh, kind of like in that movie that...
No,
that's most recent.
The one we can never fucking remember.
Oh my God, walk away from the world.
The day the world left. The day the world...
Escape the Earth. No, walk away from
Isn't it Julia Roberts?
Yes.
Okay, you know what we're talking about. It's a Netflix special. But yeah, it just banked. It just banked Earth. It was like, yep, I'm going here. And it did. And the captain at that time, during this, there's been several different captains. Like, we're selling and buying and selling and buying this boat. We have not had the one same captain. It is still called Amazon, but he's like... It pretty much took over its own. Like, the navigation system just said, yes, this is what's happening. And, like, they could not control it for any reason.
Ooh, like Smart House.
Kind of only huge-ass ship in the 1800s.
Yeah,
right?
Before smart stuff, yeah.
Right. In 1868, the ship was sold to Richard Haynes, who renamed it Mary Celeste. It said Mary Celeste was somebody who he highly adored. I don't know if it was his wife or what, but that's mistress. That's just the name he chose for it. The ship was completely gutted and remodeled,
just like his mistress. Yeah, just kidding.
Oh God, it was gutted and remodeled to be like new. They changed stuff around. They thought the ship has had a bad past.
Right, we're gonna shake off the old energy.
We're gonna make her better. So they made new rooms. They did everything they possibly could. The ship, after this new captain, or this new owner came, had several voyages with no issues. I mean, like, 30, 40, 50 voyages with not a fucking problem. Like, at all. Everything went on amazingly. On November 7th, 1872, the Mary Celeste set sail from New York with more than 1,700 barrels of alcohol on board.
Oh, dang. That's a lot of alcohol.
That's a lot of alcohol. It was going to... I hope I don't butcher this. Genoa, Italy? Genoa? Not exactly. It was going to Italy to take the alcohol to the Italy. The captain's name was Benjamin...
Franklin. Nope. Sorry, I had to say it.
Benjamin... Briggs. Close. Benjamin Briggs. Captain Briggs. On board was Captain Briggs, his wife, his 2-year-old daughter, and 7 crew members. That's it. So a total of 10 humans on this ship. Okay. The ship did notably encounter harsh weather. There were several times they radioed it. Well, I don't think there was radios then. However they communicated, I don't even know.
I think they probably would have had some kind of radio.
I don't know. This is 1800, so I don't know exactly what they had. They do...
Tesla time, so they had something.
What?
Sorry, that's the Tesla time, so they probably had something.
Your husband Tesla, right? Okay.
Maybe in a past life.
I'm just saying.
Well, he wasn't. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Anyway, it was noted. It was also noted in their log that they had hit bad weather several times, which I don't know. Okay, the last log entry was on November 25th. It said they were 6 miles from the Azores. I do not know where the Azores are. This was 18 days after they set sail. They were supposed to be nowhere near this fucking place at all. They were going, like, wrong direction. Like, absolutely.
Wrong turn, like that movie.
Yeah, right. After 10 days of no response from the vessel, it was spotted by a British ship called the De Grata. Okay. 10 days, nobody ever like went to look for it because people get lost at sea all the time, right? Yeah. They just happened to come across it. And I don't know. I can't in my head, because nothing I could say. Why would they approach the ship?
Right.
Maybe the world knew at this point we have a missing ship. I don't know. But they came across it. The crew from the Dei Grata boarded the Mary
Celeste.
Thank you, Mary Celeste. I always want to say something else. And no one was on board. There was not a soul on board. Not one human on board. Nothing was overturned. Nothing was missing. Every single thing was there, personal and non-personal items.
Huh.
The alcohol was intact. Everything was fucking spotless and fine. There was not a drop of blood. There was nothing out of place.
Wow.
Absolutely fucking nothing. But not a member of the crew was on board. Life jackets.
10 people.
Life jackets are still on board and all accounted for. Everything is there. The only thing missing is the one lifeboat. That's it. Nothing more.
Which would not hold that many people, right? A small lifeboat?
Probably. Yeah. It wasn't that small. Like, it was a good size boat.
So, okay, yeah. I'll let you keep going, but I have a few theories.
Right? Same. They did find, the only thing that was weird to them was there was 3 feet of water in the hold at the bottom of the ship, which was normal. Yeah. That's not a large amount. Ships do retain water and they push it back out with machinery and everything like that. So it's not enough for people to be like, holy fuck. Like, if there was an actual problem, that ship would have had more than 3 foot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It would have had 2 tiers would have been full of water because it has been sitting there for 28 days now. So, you know what I mean? Like, if it was big enough of a problem, it would have been more full. Yeah. Only 3 foot of water. They could walk through it. Still, nothing out of place. They found nothing out of place. They ended up, that crew, the Dei Grata crew, they drove the ship to, I am going to butcher this word, Gibraltar, which is the name of a town. 800 miles away. They took it because they had to do something with it. You can't just let it sit and soak, you know. The British authorities did an investigation on the boat. It took, I think it said 2 years to do a full fucking a year to do a full investigation on this boat. Not a drop of blood, nothing was found. Absolutely nothing. No foul play. Nothing is wrong. The crew was never seen again.
Wow.
They never saw any member of those people, including the 2-year-old little girl. Nobody ever seen again. The ship was now considered to be unlucky. You would think, like, something tragic like that happened, which I don't know. I mean, there was a lot of ships back then, but they didn't, like, dock it. Like, people bought it. Somebody bought it after that. It went on many voyages.
Really?
Many more voyages, yes. The crews, though, told ghost stories. If you want to believe it or not, like, I guess, you know, things could have happened, but, like, ghost stories were told about this boat. Like, the crew's like, oh, I saw a child laughing or heard a child laughing.
Attraction than anything.
Right. That's kind of what it seemed like. It actually went through 12 different owners after this. Like, nobody wanted to fucking keep it. I'm assuming people probably didn't want to work on it because it was cursed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because back then, we don't have movies. We don't have stuff. We have to tell stories to enlighten our brains.
Yeah.
So I'm sure stories came of, there's the ghost ship. You know what I mean? And that's why it is actually called the ghost ship, because of the tales that were told because of it. You know,
and it was ghosted.
Yeah.
They ghosted that
It was
bitch.
a ghosted ship. In 1884, Captain C.B. Parker bought the boat. He only sailed it for 1 year. Something happened. He would not speak of what happened at all. He would not tell anybody, even his wife. She said one day, he said, I am done with this boat. And the next day, a year later, in 1885, 13 years after it was ghosted, he deliberately sailed the boat near a reef, near Haiti, and tried to burn it to the ocean floor. Like, that was his goal.
Something big happened.
He said, I am not, and I could not find anything on what fucking happened. But something happened, and he's like, I'm done. I don't know if he was losing money because he couldn't get a crew. You know what I mean?
But still, you would think he wouldn't try to destroy the ship.
His plan was actually to catch it on fire and let it burn and then collect the insurance money.
Oh.
So
okay. Well,
that's a whole nother thing. Like, that's what he wanted. But the way it was wrote, it was more something. Like, his wife was like, one day he's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he could have had an insurance fraud plan going on, or I don't know. His plan actually failed. Sorry. He failed to sink the ship because the police caught him and put the fire out.
Okay.
And the ship was damaged beyond repair. It could not sail anymore for any reason. It was done. I mean, fire and all of that stuff. It was left there to deteriorate. and it eventually sank to the bottom. Like, it's gone.
Wow.
Completely and totally gone. It's just poof. The people, though. Of course, there are theories. We always have theories, you know. The number one theory is the most, probably what happened. Like, honestly,
Aliens.
It is probably...
Just kidding.
No, that's
that was not my theory at all.
That is a big theory.
I figured it probably was.
A big fucking theory. But the number one theory was that the ship did go through those storms. It was recorded that it hit the storms, that the ship started to take on water of some caliber. And since the storms had hit, it kind of messed up their navigation center and all of this stuff, like the electronic stuff within the ship. Something was messed up. So the Captain Briggs actually thought there was more water in the ship than what there really was. And he panicked and made everyone get on the boats instantly. And then they just got lost at sea. That is the number one theory. That is what...
Because there was a lifeboat missing. But so strange that they would leave everything behind and not
Nothing
think like...
was taken. Like, their clothing, their medication, everything was on board.
Wow.
Everything. Which, I mean, if all that stuff's messing up and you have an alert saying you're going down because you have retained so much water, even though you haven't. Like, how about we send someone down there to check? You know what I mean? Like, that is a very small crew.
What ocean, what sea, what part?
I have
what
no
was
idea.
This? Did it say what area this happened in?
It was found in the Atlantic Ocean by the Aziz Islands, or however you say that. I'm not 100% sure. So, like, not nowhere like the North Sea, or nowhere like, you know, the scary places that could possibly happen. But you got to think of the storms they encountered. I don't know. To me, that's what happened. The ship, they freaked. There's also obviously always have more theories than that. Another theory is that the crew got drunk off of the alcohol that they were transporting, and the alcohol was pretty much ethanol, like complete, because we were back in that day and it was just a part of the alcohol. And then the crew got pissed at Briggs because Briggs was noted to be an asshole. He was noted to be a very conceited, very you listen to me kind of person, and that the crew threw the family over and then fled on the boat. That's another theory. Yes.
Okay.
Another theory is the crew from the Del Grata actually murdered everyone on the boat to take the boat over. But to me, that one doesn't make sense because they did not retain the ship afterwards. The ship was then sold to someone else. Yeah. Like, if you're going to kill everyone on board, essentially you would just have to push them over because there was no drops of blood. There was no signs of struggles. There was nothing fucking like that.
The fact that the boat was the raft, the
lifeboat was gone.
Yes.
It's fine. Yeah. Another one is pirates. But the same with pirates. Nothing was missing. Pirates take everything. They take the ship. They take the belongings. They take if Jack fucking Sparrow saw that alcohol,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, it would be gone. Pirates want that shit. I'm not saying all pirates like alcohol. I'm just saying that's what they would have taken. They would have taken everything. They would have taken the jewelry, the food, there was enough food for 6 weeks on the boat, untouched.
Wow. Like, that would all be
untouched.
Gone. That doesn't make
exactly.
sense.
It's not. Another theory of the fun kind is a giant squid.
I think that's what it was.
But how? There's no description.
I mean, not necessarily a giant squid, but some kind of deep sea monster. Like, got their raft or something. Like, I don't know.
I mean, it's possible that they could have been on the lifeboat.
Maybe some, like, was it The Mist? Is that the movie you were talking about?
The Mist.
Maybe it's not The Mist. Where the air makes them...
No, it's not called The Mist. It's newer than The Mist.
What movie am I thinking? I know what you're talking about, though. But I was thinking, like, maybe it's something with all the alcohol, maybe the fumes, some kind of something
that's yet another
like,
theory.
Made them all, like,
we're not there yet.
Or something.
We're not there yet.
Oh, God. I am so animated today that I just keep hitting myself.
A giant squid is a theory some put out there. Once again, we have to tell stories.
The Kraken.
Aliens. There's always the possibility of aliens because we know nothing about them.
My first thought was, they just disappeared. But the raft was gone.
The raft is the only thing missing besides the clothing on their body and the bodies. Like, literally.
Or something.
And then the last theory that I found, and the other one that could possibly be a thing, is, like I said, that alcohol wasn't alcohol like you're thinking today.
This is more bootleg moonshine type stuff.
Fucking ethanol, essentially. You know what I mean? That will eventually turn into alcohol after it sits for a very long time, kind of thing. And... I mean, the crew had to work in the area of the alcohol, And I'm sure the captain was in there too, checking on shit. Like, the fumes from it caused hallucinations or delirium of some kind. Yeah. And for some reason, they thought they had to fucking flee. Yeah. They had to get off of this boat. Or maybe
some of them became homicidal and the others fled. Or, there could have been reasons. Maybe they didn't all leave together.
But the fact that before this journey, the boat had issues. The boat was essentially...
My last theory is that with it being cursed, that they saw something that they didn't fucking like, and they were all like, "Get the fuck out of here."
That's enough, yeah.
Like if it was cursed, if it was haunted or whatever, like something happened. But yeah, I also feel like something maybe caused at least some of them to just fucking like go crazy.
Something, but there was also no sign of, and everything was in its place. Yeah. Like they boarded a boat and everything. Yeah. Everything. This incident, I guess I want to say book, has went on to write, several people have wrote books about it. There are several movies about it. Of course, they take them and fantasize them, and there's ghosts that kill you.
The movie Ghost Ship?
Yes, was that about one of them. Yes, there's books. They totally take it into it's now a murderous ship that you see it in the horizon, and stuff like that. Just like the crazy fucking absolute crazy stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna go with. They got on that lifeboat and flew away, or flew. They paddled. They paddled away, and then
the Kraken ate them.
That's a possibility. But I mean, like the storms they have already encountered, which means you're by storms. They weren't too far from that island though, so maybe they made it to the island and lived there happily ever after. But
or maybe it was like a Bermuda Triangle situation where they there was some weird part of the ocean that sucked them under, or they disappeared.
I mean, like whirlpools or
dimension, or could who knows?
You always go like extraterrestrial, like every time another dimension. The aliens just zapped them into their thing.
And maybe not necessarily
aliens,
like a parallel universe. Yeah. I don't know. You never know. We don't know what's under the ocean. It could have been a door to another world.
Not.
Maybe they went to Atlantis.
Yeah. And then, like, after all these people went missing, the stories that went around, like, at that time, like, there's so many different ones. Like, they would see the boat in the horizon and they knew bad weather was coming. And the amount of stories that come from stuff like this was probably literally just a simple, they took off because they got scared. You know what I mean? But once again, we didn't have anything for imagination. We didn't have movies. We didn't have thoughts like that. So we had to take real life stuff that wasn't that serious and turn it into a holy fuck where you're terrified. Right.
But that boat did have a pass. So
yeah,
I'm sure there was something weird with it, but we will never know.
Like, I went and did someone die on the boat beforehand? Like, haunted. You know what I mean? Was there a fire? Was there something big? There was never anything that I could find. Obviously, this is the 1800s. So you
for that last guy to just, like, not want to
he's like, nope. And I'm not but then again, maybe he couldn't find a crew. Maybe he's out of money and he just went and burned it. You know, like, he did get busted, though, and he got in trouble. So, but then all the different owners. It had 12 owners in a matter of like 5 years. That's or 6 crazy. Years. No, 5 or 6 years? I don't remember exactly.
That's a lot, though. Like, something was happening on there for sure. But
definitely something. What is that?
That's my alarm to make sure I get the kids picked up from school.
Okay. It's fine. So are we done?
I'm done. Yeah, I'm
Are
done.
we good?
If you need to contact us, you can do so at
onlyifyoucankeepup@gmail.com. You did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.